Welcome everyone, I'm here again today with a manga video. Today will be a first impressions on Chainsaw Man Volume 1 by Tatsuki Fujimoto. Now this is very unique for me because I bought this manga blindly and I never do that anymore. I usually only buy manga that I already have a strong opinion of. But seeing as how I already read the entirety of Fire Punch a while back and it gave me very mixed emotions, mostly positives. I believe I trust Tatsuki Fujimoto enough to buy the first volume of his manga. And honestly, looking back, I say it was well worth my money. This story deals with a young man named Denji who has to deal with a massive debt that his father left behind after he committed suicide. He has to work with the Yakuza in killing devils in order to pay off the debt. However, the debt is so huge he can work for his entire life and still not have paid it off. Thankfully, he has this devil friend called Pochita, which is basically a dog which has a chainsaw for a nose. It's very adorable, and I do enjoy Pochita. Definitely a very cute character. Denji is trying to live his life as best as he can until one day he's betrayed by the Yakuza who are possessed by the zombie devil. He and Pochita get cut to bits, but thankfully Pochita has the ability, like other devils, to absorb the heart of a human and fuse together. And thus, Denji becomes Chainsaw Man and kills off the Yakuza. That was definitely my favorite part of this volume. It was so good seeing Denji get revenge on the Yakuza, even though that's not exactly what he wanted. He just wanted to survive. But I'm glad he got revenge on the Yakuza because the Yakuza are just complete scum. They abused him for years on end, just using him for money. It was just so satisfying seeing all of them get killed off. The rest of the volume deals with Enji working for this agency that deals with killing off devils. He works for this lady named Makima, and honestly, right off the bat, she has this very mysterious and manipulative vibe, and that's why she's my favorite character so far. I just like characters who have a mysterious aura about them, who are manipulative, and she's all about that. I like her. I think she's gonna be my favorite character in this entire series, but again, it's only the first volume, so it might be very early to judge. It might be way too early to judge that. My least favorite character introduced this far is Aki. Aki is Denji's partner in crime. Well, it's not technically partner in crime, but you know what I mean. He's Denji's partner and he just hates Denji for no reason. Well, he hates Denji because he doesn't have ambition and he feels like he doesn't deserve to be a devil hunter. So he just, talks down to him, abuses him, does whatever he can to try to get him to quit. And honestly, I don't like Aki. I don't like characters like Aki who are just overtly negative, who just try to start problems with people. I can't stand him. I really don't like Aki at all. And I usually like the apathetic type characters. He looks like the cool-headed, apathetic type guy, but I don't like him. He's just too much of a jerk. I can't stand people like him. The devil battles were definitely the highlight of the volume. I feel like all of them were definitely well drawn out. The usual art style of this manga is kind of sketchy. I don't want to say sloppy, but it has a kind of sketchy vibe to it. But the devil battles are much more detailed by comparison, and that's where all the blood and guts are. I am surprised this ran in Shonen Jump magazine. To be fair, it ran in Shonen Jump Plus, which is their online magazine, which airs some web original manga, but still. The fact that this is a Shonen Jump magazine, a Shonen Jump manga, ooh, I don't know why it would air there. I think Tatsuki purposely put this in Shonen Jump so he could push the envelope and see how much he could get away with without getting canceled. And he did achieve his job. Fire Punch also aired in Shonen Jump Plus, and that had a lot of stuff that belonged in seinen. So I don't know what type of relationship he has with Shueisha, but they obviously just let him do whatever he wants, and good for him. While I overall like Denji as a character, I do find his fixation on females to be a bit annoying, so to speak. It seems like his dream in life is not only to get a girlfriend, but he's also very focused on touching girls, wanting to hold their boobies. In fact, he ends up getting manipulated by another agency member called Power because she promised to let him fill her boobies and because of that he easily got manipulated by her. And honestly, I kind of feel like it's a bit overdone. Now it's a bit hypocritical that I say that because I am a fan of No More Heroes, a video game where the main character becomes an assassin just so he can sleep with this girl, but at least Travis didn't talk about boobies 24/7, now did he? Seeing Denji go from working for the Yakuza to achieving his own form of freedom was definitely very satisfying. While he doesn't have complete freedom because he still is forced to work for this agency, he's at least able to live in a proper home, buy food, and do other things that people often take for granted. I heard that Denji becomes a better character as time goes on, so I do hope he becomes less of a pervert as I read more of these volumes. I also really like the concept of devils, how their power is determined by how much they're feared by the concept they represent. For example, you have things like gun devils, which I don't think are mentioned in this volume, but I did hear people mention it in some manga forums, like how something like a gun devil would be extremely powerful. And as Makima points out, Denji is a chainsaw devil, which means, like, what do you think of when you hear a chainsaw? You often think of getting cut open. You often think of slasher movies. So Denji does have a lot of potential to get to be incredibly powerful because he represents this weapon that's basically meant to decimate whatever stands in his way. So I'm also really looking forward to how Denji develops and how the world building presents the devils, these concepts. It just seems really cool. I have to say that this was a very solid first volume and that it did a great job on keeping readers wanting to know more about this series. Now, how do I think about Chainsaw Man Volume 1 compared to Fire Punch Volume 1? I think Chainsaw Man might be a little bit better because the way most because of the dialogue. I feel like in Volume 1 of Fire Punch, there were way too many walls of text. It was just felt like the dialogue cluttered the pages. And I felt like Chainsaw Man has better pacing overall and is more streamlined. And it has better art because, well, it was made much later and Tatsuki had more time to develop his art style. Overall, this is definitely a series I will look out for. Now, the anime should be coming out soon. I don't think it's going to come out this year, but it might come out sometime early 2022. Who knows? I hope it's going to be good. Now, I don't know if I'm going to wait to watch the anime and continue reading the manga based off where the anime leaves off, or just read the manga more and just see how far does the anime adapt. I don't really know. I usually just watch the anime first and read the manga from there, but I read the first volume. So I'm not exactly sure how exactly I'll continue this series, but I do hope the anime comes out soon so I can see it. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this first volume. It was really good. The art during the fight scenes were amazing. The concept of the devils is cool. They get stronger based on how much people fear them. So I wonder if there's something like a death devil that's like almost a what's the word for it? Just all powerful, because pretty much everyone fears death. So if there's something like a death devil, it might be the strongest thing in the universe. So who even knows? And yeah, that's all I have to say. Please check out Chainsaw Man Volume 1. Support the series, support the author. I think he's a very eccentric guy. And yeah, stay tuned for my next video.